Hello, I would like to talk about public transportation in urban areas in Japan. Japan boasts one of the best public transportation systems in the world, and its convenience and quality of service amazes many foreigners, especially for those who are thinking of living in Japan from abroad or planning a trip to Japan. Knowing how to use the transportation system and its features will make your daily life and mobility even more comfortable. Segment 1: Overview of public transportation in Japan. First, let's take a look at the overall picture of public transportation in urban areas in Japan. Japan's transportation system is very well developed and offers incredible convenience, especially in large cities. The main modes of transportation include trains and subways. Trains and subways are the mainstay of urban transportation in Japan, especially in large cities such as Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya. Train and subway lines are very well developed and cover most areas of the city. There are many train services, and it is not unusual for a train to arrive every few minutes, especially during rush hour. Buses are another important means of transportation in urban areas. Even in areas not served by trains or subways, bus routes complement them, making it relatively easy to get to inaccessible places. Buses are also a major means of transportation in regional cities, and intercity buses are also popular as express buses. Cabs in Japan provide high-quality service and are highly regarded for their cleanliness and safety. Starting fares are slightly higher than in other countries, but foreigners are particularly impressed by the automatic opening and closing of doors and the courtesy of the drivers. Bicycle and share services. Recently, bicycle use and sharing services have become widespread in urban areas. Bicycle parking lots are being built around stations, and bicycle sharing services, which can be used with a traffic IC card, are increasing. This allows people to conveniently choose a means of transportation, even for short distances. These public transportation systems are interconnected and designed to provide seamless travel in complex urban areas. In particular, the train and subway network comes every few minutes, making it very convenient not only for commuting to work or school, but also for sightseeing. Let's now take a closer look at some of the points that particularly surprise foreigners. Segment 2: Features of Japanese transportation that surprise foreigners. Unparalleled punctuality. Japanese trains and subways are world-renowned for their punctuality. For example, the average annual delay for the Shinkansen bullet train is said to be only a few dozen seconds, and even a 1-minute delay on a regular train or subway can result in an announcement. In fact, even for a 1-minute delay, the railroad company will issue a formal apology and, in some cases, a delay certificate. Many foreigners are surprised to learn that such a punctual train operation system is hard to find in other countries. In other countries, train delays of 10 or 30 minutes are often the norm, and the culture is generally loose with time. In Japan, however, punctuality is a fundamental value in society, and this is strongly reflected in the transportation system. It is part of Japanese business, culture and daily life, and punctuality is considered a symbol of trust. For foreigners living in Japan, this strictness about time, while surprising at first, eventually becomes a factor that they find very convenient. Cleanliness and maintenance. Japanese trains, buses, and stations are very clean. In particular, many foreigners are impressed by the cleanliness of station buildings and train interiors. For example, in large stations in Tokyo and Osaka, restrooms are often clean and safe. The fact that toilet paper is always replenished, and that they are equipped with hand soap and warm water washing toilet seats is a service unique to Japan. In addition, on long-distance trains such as the Shinkansen, cleaning staff can be seen quickly cleaning the interior of the train each time it stops. This cleaning process, also known as the 7-minute miracle, is thorough to ensure the comfort of passengers. This attention to detail in Japanese culture is very impressive to foreigners. a transfer system that helps you find your way around. Stations in Japan are often complex in structure, but they are nevertheless well maintained with very easy to understand information displays. Many stations provide information not only in Japanese, but also in English, Chinese, and Korean. This makes it possible for foreigners visiting Japan for the first time to reach their destinations without getting lost. In addition, each train platform is equipped with a detailed electric board, which shows at a glance the destination and arrival time of the next train. In addition, smartphone applications make it easy to look up real-time train operation information and transfer information. Apps such as Google Maps and Transfer Guide are easy for foreigners to use and help them get around efficiently. Convenience of traffic IC cards. Transportation IC cards make using public transportation in Japan's urban areas even more convenient. Suica and Passmo are representative examples. These cards can be charged in advance, allowing them to pass smoothly through ticket gates. IC cards can also be used to pay not only for trains and buses, but also for convenience stores, vending machines, and even cabs. This makes it convenient to pay at many places without having to carry cash. For foreigners, the fact that this single card can be used not only on trains and buses, but also in many other aspects of daily life, is very surprising. The IC card is also very convenient for domestic travel, since it can be used throughout Japan. And a Suica issued in Tokyo can be used in Osaka, Nagoya, etc. Abundant facilities and services at stations. More than just transportation hubs, major stations in Japan often have shopping malls, restaurants, cafes, banks, clinics, and other facilities. At Tokyo and Shinjuku stations, for example, there are enough facilities to enjoy an entire day just inside the station. In addition, there are ekiben, boxed lunches and regional sweets available for purchase in the station, making the station itself something of a tourist attraction. For foreigners, these facilities are very surprising, in that Japanese stations are not just places for transportation, but also serve as hubs for daily life and sightseeing. Segment 3: Rules and manners that foreigners should be aware of. There are certain manners that should be observed when using public transportation in Japan. In Japan, in particular, there is a strongly ingrained culture of not causing trouble for others, which is also important in public places. Here are some manners that foreigners should pay particular attention to. Conversation on trains should be moderate. Quietness is the norm on Japanese trains and buses, especially during commuting hours and in crowded trains. People are expected to be considerate of others around them and be as quiet as possible. Overseas, conversation on public transportation is normal, and often not considered particularly problematic for chatting with friends or making phone calls. But in Japan, people respect the quietness of their surroundings. In particular, talking on cell phones is almost always prohibited. If you need to make a phone call, you are expected to do so after getting off the train, or turn it off in priority trains. This may be difficult for foreigners to get used to at first, but it is also a manner in public spaces that is unique to Japan. How to use priority seats. Priority seats are provided on Japanese trains and buses. Priority seats are specially reserved for the elderly, pregnant women, people with disabilities, and people in poor health. And it is good manners to always give up your seat when these people get on the train. In fact, Japanese people often do not sit in priority seats if they do not have to, which is another example of a culture that gives priority to others. Some foreign countries are not so strict about the use of these priority seats, so this point should be noted in Japan. Escalator usage. In Japan, it is customary to leave one side of the escalator open. In Tokyo, the rule is to stand on the left side, while in Osaka, the rule is to stand on the right side. By following this custom, space is reserved, so that people in a hurry can walk on the other side. To a foreigner, this leave one side empty etiquette may seem unique, but it is widely recognized in Japan. Especially in urban areas, this rule is strictly enforced, and it is important to follow it for smooth travel. The custom of standing in lines. In Japan, there is a culture of naturally forming lines. When boarding trains and buses, orderly lining up at a designated spot on the platform, and boarding in order is part of the Japanese custom of respecting order. Long lines can form, especially during rush hour, but everyone lines up neatly to board the bus to avoid confusion. For foreigners, one of the great features of Japanese public transportation is the smooth boarding and exiting of trains, even during busy times. This is the end of this video. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to our channel and give us a high rating. Also, if you have any other questions about transportation in Japan, please let us know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Click here to subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoy the next installment. Please feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comments section below. Thank you for watching.